What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be installing 034's DSG Breather. Now this is a direct bolt-on. You don't have to change anything to the car. Everything will just clip right in, and it has a factory location. Fits super nice. I'll put a picture on the screen of how it will look. So let's go ahead and get started. The upgraded piece from 034 replaces the stock factory plastic piece that is brittle and can sometimes break and cause transmission fluid to leak all over the place. Now what this does is it allows it to vent the pressure from the DSG just like a crankcase or an engine. There's a lot of pressure, so you want to be able to relieve that. And this little slot right here is a passage where all the air can actually escape, and it flows very well. They give us the adapter that attaches to the transmission, the necessary hose clamps, and then a nice rubber hose, as well as this. So the first thing we're going to do is take this intake piece off right here. That will allow us to get access to the DSG breather down there. You may need to take your battery out depending on what intake you have, but we should be fine with this intake style. Alright, so now you're going to be locating your factory vent tube cap, and that is right there on top of the transmission. So once you pull your intake off, you're just going to come right to the back, and you'll see that little black cap, and that's what you're going to want to pull off. Okay, so I just had to use this hand, pulled it right off. Super easy. Now we have access to that little nozzle right there, and you can see it kind of started to leak. So it's good that we're replacing this. Now we'll come over here, and this is when our adapter comes into play. So we'll take this apart. It's a little clip. And then we got this piece that's going to slide in and has an O-ring on it. This piece will go over it, and our clip will prevent it from all coming out. So this piece is going to go O-ring down inside that hole right there, and then we'll go ahead, put that cover on and the clip. And make sure that O-ring gets seated in there. Luckily there was some transmission fluid that lubed it up, allowed it to slip in there. So now we got that on there. Now we can go ahead and put this piece on, and then we can put this clip on. So I got the clip on. If you have a bigger arm, you're gonna have to remove your battery, but I was able to slip my arm in and kind of guide it in. I just lined the slots up so that my hand going backwards, the clip would slip on. It takes a little force. I was able to do it with my hand, but that is a little tricky. Now that we got that on, we can put our hose on, and then we can mount our little breather can. So we got this line tightened up. We got our hose clamp on that snugged up, but just enough so we can slip it over that. That's going to be another hard part, is tightening the clamp down there. So you're going to mount it in that location right there. It's a little twisty screw and factory placement, and it'll hold it. This can doesn't weigh anything, it's super light, so super cool that we're able to use that factory placement. I lost it. Now we can vent route this down there. Got that on. Okay, got that tightened up. Just used a little ratcheting 7mm. I was able to get in there. So if you have one of these, highly recommend it. I don't know if you can get a flathead in there, but if you removed your battery, you could get anything you want in there, but 034 didn't remove their battery, so just go buy one of these, or if you already have one. And you can also use a little ratcheting wrench in there. There's enough room. Just gotta orient the clamp right. I also wanted to ask you guys if you knew there was a way or why this PCV valve leaks so much on top of the turbo. We have a catch can system on the car and it uses the factory PCV, but we're wondering why it leaks so much oil on top of the turbo. And it was leaking previous. I don't think it's leaking right now. It doesn't look wet, but there's a lot of residue. So if you guys have any idea what that is or why it does that, let us know. Alright, that was an easy install. I think anybody could do that at their house. It wasn't really hard. Only hard thing was getting that clip on. Like I said, take your time, orient that piece where you can get to it, and then tighten up the hose clamps on the hose, not all the way, but just snug, so that it makes it easier instead of trying to fight it, putting it on while you already got everything assembled. So those are my tips. Other than that, great product. Can't wait to see what it does, and we'll update you guys. So if you guys want to get this or our dog bone mount like you saw in the last video, go ahead. I'll have a link in the description for 034's website, and go ahead and buy some parts from them.